Would you like to see the housing inventory from a brothel from 1407? Yeah, I would too. All right, here it is. Ta-da! What do you mean you can't understand it? Don't worry, neither can I. Neither can I. But thankfully, there are historians out there who can not only read Latin like it's just nothing, but they can actually translate Latin when it's written in medieval scrawly script, which this most certainly is. They are what I like to call proper historians. Top tier historians. The ones that are out there translating Latin and cuneiform tablets from ancient Mesopotamia. Thank God for them. And the proper historian who translated this is Professor Susan McDonough at Harvard University. So thank you to her. And thank you to Professor Ruth Carras, who even told me about this yesterday when I was interviewing her on the podcast. They are both what we will call top tier historians. So this comes to us from Marseille in France, 1407. And what we're looking at here is the inventory of a business or a house by a woman called Johannetta Aymara. And the reason that she's giving a big long list of everything that she owns is because she's going to go on a religious pilgrimage. And it seems that she's taken her husband too, who is Johannes, because he's not listed anywhere on this. And it was standard practice in medieval period that if you were going to go on a pilgrimage or if you were going to leave your home or business for any prolonged length of time, you would leave everything in the care of another person and you'd have a contract drawn up. So basically, they just keep an eye on everything for you. This is what was known as a commander agreement, and they're actually pretty common in medieval France. So the first chunk of writing up at the top gives Johannetta's name and the date. And her name is important because with these licensed establishments, there was often rules in place that said only women could run them. If this had been a pub or an inn, it would have been her husband who was named. The other giveaway is the first thing that she lists primo is 4 sturdy beds and 4 sturdy mattresses. There's information given here about curtains that are very important, and that kind of paints a picture of lots of beds in a row because it doesn't look like this was a very big establishment, and just curtains sectioning everything off. We need to remember that this kind of work, although it was very frowned upon and stigmatised at the time, it was completely legal, and in France, people were expected to register their establishment with the local government. So all of this is completely legal and above board. Obviously, she's going to need beds and sturdy mattresses, but what's really revealing here is that a lot of the items listed are about food preparation. You've got things like salt shakers, copper kettles, there's an iron candelabra that's listed, 2 tables and 4 benches for people to sit at. She lists a frying pan and a grill and like jugs that you drink wine out of as well. And of course, women's clothing is listed too. And somewhere on here, oh, I thought I had it, now I've lost it. Somewhere on here, there is a portable statue of the Virgin Mary, which is probably used by the people that work there as a kind of a shrine to say their prayers. But I'll show you the bit that I think is the most interesting about all of this. So right underneath me, hang on, a bit further underneath me, just there, this is the bit about who's witnessing this document being drawn up. And one of them is a guy called Antonius, and he's the servant who works at Johannetta's establishment. He's the one that's going to be looking after everything. And then the very last line there, his name is Peter, and he's listed as the Sucite subvicari, and that was the medieval equivalent of the police. So the person that is witnessing this inventory of a brothel is the police chief. Now, what would he be doing there? Honestly, if I had some pearls, I'd clutch them.